pleasure to be here, and I congratulate you on the work that you're doing for the schools of Oakland. Arne Duncan, who's President Obama's Secretary for Education, was here last week, and he said something that really struck a chord with me, and I'm sure with everyone else, and that is, great schools make great cities. Put another way, if you don't have a great school system, then you cannot have a great city. And Oakland is positioned in such a fine way, historically, geographically, logistically. We have wonderful people, but our schools have been plagued by low performance for too long. I think with the new superintendent, Tony Smith, things have changed dramatically, and obviously he has a plan for contemporary Oakland school needs. What he needs is a partner, a willing partner, and that should be the city. And the city should not run the school system. The city ought to be a real partner doing the things the city does best and has responsibilities for. For example, public safety. Children going to and from schools, as well as the security on campus, should be a responsibility of the city and its police department. I'm not suggesting that we don't need a separate security system within the school system, but the responsibility has to be on the Oakland police. They have the responsibility for taking care of our neighborhoods, making the streets safe, making our homes safe. They should be making our schools safe as a priority, particularly in the hours when children are coming to and from school. Secondly, there should not be anywhere in Oakland a library or an after-school or a recreation program that is not completely open to the schools. Tony Smith would like to see our schools as neighborhood centers open 12 to 15 hours a day. We ought to strive to have libraries open those same hours. We should have recreation workers paid for by the city on every possible recreation facility. Our parks are one thing, they're important, but parks are not the same thing as recreation. Parks are passive, recreation is active. The cultural arts, other things should be borne by the city. The last thing is truancy, and probably it's the first thing. There are 2,000 truant kids in Oakland every day. There are thousands and thousands more who have already dropped out, who just have disappeared. Our dropout rate from 9 to 12 grades is embarrassing. But who best to go into homes of truant children and work with their parents than a faith-based community? We are powerful and powerfully rich in Oakland with a faith-based community second to none. They should be working with us on a program to go into the homes. And let's face it, many of these kids who are not coming to school have parents who themselves have not had much of an education. They're too young. There's no manual, no handbook that you get before you give birth to a child or you have to rear a child. So we ought to be providing the opportunity to have the community itself rally around. Not it takes a village to raise a child. I'm fed up to hear, frankly, with all these clever sayings. And we spout them off, politicians talk about this stuff when it's around election time. I'm talking about a real opportunity for people in the neighborhoods, particularly in the flatland neighborhoods of Oakland, where the greatest failure rate for our children is and has chronically been. Those are the things the mayor can do. His leadership, his moral leadership, his political leadership can galvanize those things that can help the school district and the school board, teachers and administrators do their job. We don't want to tell them what to do. We want to make it possible for them to do it. Thank you.